process, and we've been doing this process for over 2 years. In 2008, Butte Silver Bowl completed a master plan for our system, and the ink wasn't even dry on that master plan before it was almost obsolete because of the changing Environmental Protection Agency requirements. So we have done a facility review of all of our assets. We've looked at our transmission lines, our storage capabilities, our distribution lines, and our treatment capabilities, all of our water rights to figure out where we have to go to fix this system up. So the overriding goal that we wanted to meet was to ensure that all ratepayers, all the users of our system, are provided with an adequate supply of water, and that water be filtered in every case. Right now, we don't have that with Basin Creek. We have a lot of our ratepayers are drinking water that's not filtered. But that's our goal, is to get everybody drinking filtered water that meets all of the requirements of Department of Environmental Quality and EPA. It's very, very important to us, and we think it's important to our ratepayers that we ensure that we meet all those requirements. There's a reason for those requirements. They're very important. We want to meet every one of them. Okay, so what we've done is we've assembled all of our past water demand records. We've gone back decades, and we've traced how much water our ratepayers are using over the years. And we found a decline in the last several years, and we think that actually what's happening is we fixed so many leaks that we're actually getting the water to the ratepayer instead of wasting it to the ground. We've assessed all 3 of our water sources. We've also developed the Silver Lake Water Master Plan that's available online. We've looked at all the components of that system, and we've also judged which components need to be replaced, and also capital costs for that. We've developed a hydraulic model of the entire distribution system to find out where all of our problems are in our distribution system. As you know, over the past years, 10 years, past decade, we've been very, very fortunate to get NRD money to help replace our distribution system on the hill. We've replaced hundreds of thousands of feet of distribution line, and that's really helped us with a lot of the leaks that we have. But now what we can do, now that we've got a control on the system, we can start using our hydraulic model to find out which parts of the system need to be replaced, where we have bottlenecks, where we have pressure problems, where we have adequate fire flow, inadequate fire flow, and those things. So we're really putting the system back together. We've also done a review of all of our water rights. We've done research, Pat's very good at research, and we're trying to be that good, but we've looked at all of our water rights, not only for our domestic system, but for our Silver Lake system. And Butte Silver Bow has an abundance of water rights. They're very good water rights, and it's one of the great assets that people of Butte have. We've reviewed all the operational history and maintenance records on our system to try to find out where we can save money and where we're wasting money. And then finally, what we completed last spring and early summer, I guess, was a pilot scale testing of our various raw water sources to find out the best way to treat that water and what we need to do to come into compliance with the rules and regulations. So what we found through our modeling and through our past flow records and history is we're quite certain that in order for everyone to meet our goals, everyone to have an adequate supply of water and that water to be filtered, we need to put treatment facilities in place that will treat 20 million gallons a day of raw water. So we developed 4 options to try to meet that goal. With each one of the options, and we'll go through these, but I wanted to note that we have the options on the back wall there in larger pieces of paper that you can see. We've also handed these options out to you, and we have some in the audience there that hopefully people can share. If you really want one of these, if you did get a copy tonight, please contact me and we'll get you a copy. So we put 4 4 options together. We did costs for each option, and we developed what we have to do to put these options in play. And then we come up with an option that we feel is the one we want to pursue. Starting with option A, what we did is we thought we have a very good treatment plant at Feely for the Big Hole Water Treatment Plant, and we thought maybe the best thing to do is just to have one water treatment plant and run all of our water sources to that one water treatment plant to see if that would save us money and see if that was effective. So the first thing we tried to do is we did a analysis of bringing Basin Creek water over the hill to our Big Hole Water Treatment Plant. The analysis showed that we would have had to pump that water over the top of the ridge, several hundred feet of pumping, and then we still would have needed about 6 to 8 miles of transmission line through property that we don't own. We would have had to get an easement. Turns out that the terrain was just too rugged and the pumping costs were too high to pump Basin Creek water over the Big Hole. Even though most of you in the audience are thinking right now, that doesn't make any sense, we still had to do our due diligence and show that it was going to work or it wasn't going to work. The other option we thought is we would bring Mammoth Creek water. We have a very good water right on Mammoth Creek. This is water that comes out of the highlands. It comes from Emerald Lake. We have about a 3.25 million gallon a day water right on that stream, and we thought if we could bring that water down Highland Road to the Basin Creek water treatment plant, that would be a good idea. It turns out that it's about 15 miles of pipeline, and when we did an analysis of it, it was just too expensive to bring that water into the Big Hole plant. Our third option to bring water to the Big Hole plant was to bring Silver Lake water in. It was the least expensive option. But what we found is, even though it was the least expensive of bringing Basin Creek water to the Big Hole plant, we still had to pump the water from Ramsey to our Big Hole treatment plant. And then once it gets to the Big Hole treatment plant, we have to pump water back into town. So I'm going to show this on the map. You won't be able to see it here, but some of you have option A in front of you, and then again we have the maps in the back. Option A has several components. The components are to upgrade our existing Big Hole treatment plant. Now that Big Hole treatment plant was built to provide 16 million gallons of water a day. We'd have to upgrade it to 20. Have to build more filters, have to build additional treatment facilities, plate settler. Plus, we also have to provide water to the south end of Butte. So we have to build a storage tank on the south end of Butte to provide water for the South Butte. And that option, that component is common in all four of these options that we talked about. So what we do is we give you a list of all the components that we have to put together there, and we have a cost for option A, and it's $48 to $58 million, I believe. One of the things that is a problem with this option, we'd also have to do some major structural changes to the existing pump station. Have to tear out walls and do some major work there. But it's doable. The second option that we looked at